May. Welcome to my channel. Okay, excuse my robe if y'all see like little black spots on it. I didn't wash it a million times, it won't come out. This was like back in my day when I used to use hair glue for lash glue. Don't tell me, don't act like y'all don't know, because y'all used to do it too. But y'all, if y'all are still doing it, do not use hair glue for lash glue. You're gonna blind yourself, okay? Get you some Ardell. But anywho, today we are doing a budget-friendly makeup look. I don't know what kind of look I'm really going for today, but everything I use today is going to be under $20.
$40.
No girl, just 20. We ain't going that high, just 20. Okay, so let's just dive right in. So I have already prepped my skin. One day I'm going to do a tutorial on my whole skincare regimen. I've already cleansed my skin and moisturized it. So first we're going to start with the Badescu facial spray. Y'all know I use this before any makeup application. This is the lavender one. I usually use this at night, but today I'm going to use it in the daytime. And this size, you can find it at Ulta for $7. They also have a travel size one. The travel size, I want to say, is $5. And if you want the really big bottle, that one is $12. Y'all, that feels so good. It's just like refreshing. I always start off with it. So I know everything was supposed to be under $20. I did not go out and buy a drugstore primer, but I do have this. This is my favorite primer in travel size. This is the Becca Ever Matte Primer. This is really good if you have oily skin. The travel size one is 21, but the big bottle is 36 if you guys are interested. If you did need a good drugstore recommendation on the primer, just hit me up in the comments and let me know. I can definitely recommend one to you. Okay, so we're just going to squeeze a little bit of that primer onto our hands. You just need like a dime-sized amount, and we're just going to pat that into the skin. Y'all, I love this primer. This is like the best thing since sliced bread. This is the best primer ever for us oily girls, especially in my nose area. For some reason, foundation don't like to stay on the nose, but I got a trick for that too. So next I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution banana powder and use that to set my primer. That's one of my favorite powders to use because I have a yellow undertone, so the banana is perfect for me. And I'm going to use that using my powder brush. This is a Real Techniques brush. I bought this in a holiday set. Their holiday sets usually are about $20. If you want an individual brush, they usually range to about like $7 to $10. So I'm just going to use some of that. The powder, you can also get it at Ulta for $8. So this is my trick for also helping foundation stay on my nose. I just really make sure I set it really good with the powder. Okay, I know we looking a little crazy, but it's okay. Next, I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting. This is the LA Pro Girl Concealer. These are about $8. You usually can find them at your local beauty supply store. I'm just going to use this because I have a dark spot on the side of my face. So, wrong side. Okay, so I have a dark spot here on the side of my face, and I'm just going to use it right there. And I know y'all probably been looking like, what is that she always have on her head? This is my unicorn headband I got. And I just put this on my head to get any makeup out of my hair. And because I've been laying my edges down before I get my makeup, I had to start doing that now. Like, getting makeup in your edge control is not cute at all. So next I'm going to use my BH Cosmetic Brow Trio to fill in my brows. This is my favorite thing to use to fill my brows in. I'm mad though because I dropped it on the floor and the darkest shade fell all out. So it came with a brow gel, like a brow pomade, and then it has the brow powder that comes with it. It has a light one and a dark one. The dark one fell out when I dropped it on the floor. I'm pissed off about it, but I can buy a new one. These are only about $3 or $4 and you can get them on the BH Cosmetics website. So I'm just going to use my dual angle brush to fill in my brows. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. They sell these at Ulta. These are $18. I'm sure you can maybe find a cheaper brush that looks similar to this, but I really like this one. This one is really good quality. And it's just a brush on one side and a spoolie on the other. So you're just gonna use that to brush your brows in the direction you would like them to go in, and then you would just fill them in. Okay, I know I'm looking real crazy right now. Like, I'm gonna clean them up though. They're gonna get cleaned up. But now that you got your brows filled in, you just wanna clean them up with concealer. And y'all, I honestly hate doing brows. Like, that's like the worst part I hate about doing makeup is brows. Like, hate it, hate it. So I'm just gonna clean them up with the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. This concealer is about $14. You can also get this at Ulta. And I'm just gonna use that. And I'm gonna use my, you know what kind of brush is this? I never knew what to call these kind of brushes. This is like, I guess it's a concealer brush. This is the Morphe M432. Morphe brushes range from like $4 to $10. Could be a little bit more expensive depending on if you get a special edition brush. But yeah, I'm just gonna use this to clean my brows. So I put the concealer on the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna dip my brush into that and clean them up. So all I did was bring the concealer down because I'm also going to use that as the eyeshadow primer. And I'm just going to take this flat eyeshadow brush. This is by Wet n Wild. You can get these $1 from Dollar Tree. Like, best brush ever. And I'm just going to blend that out. Okay, so now we cleaned up underneath our brows, and we're just going to grab a foundation to clean up the top of our brows. Like I said before, I don't like using concealer to clean the top of my brows. My concealer is usually lighter than my skin complexion, so I don't like to use that at the top of my brows. It kind of gives that halo look, and I don't like that. So we're going to grab the GOAT of all foundations and the cheapest of all foundations. This is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This foundation is about $7. This is a foundation like everybody's go-to foundation. So I'm just going to use that to clean the top of my brows. I'm going to use my concealer brush that I was using before. So all I did was put a little bit of it on the back of my hands, and I'm just going to dip my brush into it. I already cleaned my brush off, and I'm just going to clean up my brows. Okay, brows on fleek. Okay, now it's time to move into eyeshadow. So this is my Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. This palette is called Ring the Alarm. This is one of my favorite palettes because it has a lot of neutral shades in there. I'm just gonna use the brush shadow, and I'm just gonna use that as my transition shade. This palette also retails for just $16, and she has a lot of other ones. I have another one I'm gonna show you, but this one is just $15. You can get this from Ulta. I'm just gonna use that eyeshadow using one of my Real Technique brushes. I also bought these brushes in the set, and that set was also $20. So I'm just gonna dig in here, and I'm just gonna blend that out. So next I'm gonna grab my Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. This one is called Bling Boss, and I'm just going to be using this shadow right here. This shadow is called Mystic, and the eyeshadow brush I'm using, to be honest, someone bought me like a really cheap palette one time, and this brush was just in there, and I really like this brush. I haven't used the palette, but I like the brush. So I'm just going to use this eyeshadow brush and put that shadow in my crease. So I'm going to go back into the Ring the Alarm palette and use that same shade that we were using as a transition color and just blend that out. So I'm just going to go back into the Bling Boss palette and grab that dark shade Mystic that we were using before. And I want to put it back into the crease. I just wanted to make sure that it looks really defined. So now out of the Bling Boss palette, I'm just gonna use the shade Bling Bling and put that all over the lid. Before I do that, I'm gonna use my Milani Make It Last setting spray. I'm just gonna spray some of that on my brush. This is just gonna make sure that I pick up a lot of product, and this retails for $10. Oh my gosh, I look like a little Barbie. It looks so cute. Now I'm going to jump back to the shade Mystic and go back into the crease again, because like I said before, I want it to look really, really defined. Now we're going to go back into the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. I'm just going to put that on using my Wet n Wild foundation brush. You can also find this at Dollar Tree for just $1. So I just put it on the back of my hand and I'm just going to blend that out. Yeah, I love this foundation. Like, for it to be so cheap, this is one of the best foundations, like, that I feel like that's on the market. So this is like a must-have foundation. Okay, we got our foundation on, so now it's time to go back into concealer. This is the Juvia's Place I Am Magic Concealer. Like I said before, this retails for $14, and this is one of my favorite concealers. Like, I'm really, really picky when it comes to concealers, but this is one of my favorites. So first, I'm just gonna highlight with that. Put it under my eyes, on my nose and forehead and chin. And after I do my concealer, I like to let it sit for a little bit to kind of let it get tacky before I blend it out.
Meanwhile, Two hours later.
So this is a brush from Real Technique. I want to say it's their sculpting brush. I just recently started using it to blend out my concealer. I find it easier to use than the Beauty Blender. I just like the finishing look of it better. But like I said before, these brushes retail for like individually probably about $7 or $8 as you lead to a pack or a really, really big brush. Those could be about maybe $15 to $20. So I'm going to use the LA Pro Girl Concealer to contour. This is the shade Espresso. I forgot what I told y'all these retail before, but I just looked it up and these retail for $5. And I'm going to use that using my Wet n Wild brush. This is a contour brush, I believe, in $1 at Dollar Tree. So if you don't know, which most people already do, contouring just gives you the illusion that you have a slimmer face, and it just makes your cheekbones appear higher than what they really are. Because I have a fat face, so I gotta make sure these cheekbones look on point, okay? So I'm gonna go back into the Makeup Revolution banana powder and just use that to set my concealer so I don't crease up. And a little trick, when you're setting up underneath your eye area, you just want to press the powder into your skin, and then we're going to dust it away with the pressed powder that's close to our skin complexion. This is the Maybelline Fit Me pressed powder. This is in the shade Toffee. This retails for $8, and I'm just going to use that to sweep away the excess baking powder. So I had a Maybelline pressed powder that was in a dark brown shade, but I lost it. So what I'm gonna do is use my Morphe palette. These are $12, and this palette is called Jewel Crew 9C. And I'm just gonna use this dark brown shade for contouring. It is called Chocolate Diamond. That's a little trick for y'all, in case y'all didn't know. I'm just gonna gently go into it and use that for contouring. Since you're supposed to be balling on a budget, I'm just gonna use this for contouring and just blend that out. It's all powder, so it all just works the same. Just gently go into it if you ever want to try this trick. Anytime I use cream contour, I always go over it with powder contour. So you just want to make sure you set it. I actually kind of like this as opposed to what I was going to use. So I might start using this shade more often for this. Then I'm going to be using that same shade, but I'm going to be using my Morphe brush that I scratched the name off of to contour my nose. Okay, we are close to being done. I'm just going to use that same shade that I used before to contour my nose and my face. And I'm going to put that underneath my eyelash, like my waterline, that area. I only like dark browns down there. Like, I don't like to use any other color. Sometimes I might use a light blue every now and then, depending on what kind of look I'm doing. But for the most part, I only like dark browns down in that area. And I'm just going to use that using my Real Technique brush that came in the holiday set with that powder brush. And like I said before, that set was $20. So I'm going to go back into my Milani Make It Last setting spray. I'm just going to spray a little bit of that on my face. I don't like the feeling of my face being too powdery, so I'm just going to spray some of that on. Next, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild waterproof gel liner. This is the shade Black. This retails for about, I want to say it was about $4. You can also get these at Ulta. You honestly, maybe, strong maybe, find these at Dollar Tree. I know Dollar Tree sells their brushes, but I'm not sure. They could possibly sell their eyeliners too, but I love this eyeliner. It is one of my favorites. I'm just going to put that in the waterline. Okay, so now it's time to wing it out. This is the Maybelline Master Precise All Day Liquid Liner. That is a long name. This is one of my favorite liquid liners to use. I like that it is a felt tip pen, so it just makes it easier when you're trying to get that perfect wing. Also, I don't know why, but I like to save my eyeliner towards the end. I know a lot of people, as they're doing eyeshadow, right after they do eyeshadow, they do eyeliner, but I don't know, I'm a little weird. So I like to save mine towards the end of my look. You can find this eyeliner at just about any drugstore. You can get it from Walmart, Ulta, Walgreens, CVS, anywhere just about. And this retails for $8. Let's see if I can do this on camera this time. Because last time I wasn't able. Okay, I gotta do it on camera. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. I really need to practice on doing my wing liner on camera, but we have got our wing now. So now it is time to move to highlighter. I'm using my favorite highlighter again from Ravishing Beauty. I still don't know the name of it. I'm sorry, y'all. I believe I purchased this though for about $7. I bought it from her in person, but I'm pretty sure it's on her website. So check out Ravishing Beauty LLC and you can get you a highlighter too. So I'm just going to take my Real Techniques brush. I don't know the name of this brush, but I like to use it for highlighter. This came in that holiday set that I was telling you guys about before. I'm just going to take my Milani setting spray and I'm just going to spray it on my brush so it picks up a lot of product and so I can get that glow. You know, that glow that I'm looking for, okay? Yo, nails. Like, Ravishing Beauty be on it. Y'all see that? I know y'all do, yes. So next I'm going to be using my Makeup Revolution blush palette. This retailed for about, I want to say it was about $12. Makeup Revolution is a really inexpensive brand. It's considered a drugstore brand, but I feel like their products are really good quality. They have blushes, highlighters, powders, eyeshadows. They have foundations, but I don't really care for their foundations, but their concealers are really nice. I feel like it's a brand that everyone should try, especially if you're trying to save money on your products. So I'm going to be using this shade right here. I don't know the name of it because my palette has been through some things. Y'all know my stuff just go through things. Like, don't ask no questions, but I'm using this shade right here. So I'm going to use that same Real Technique brush and just use that to put on my blush. And I'm just going to put that in the apples of my cheeks. I don't like to go crazy with blush. I'm not like a huge blush fan. So I ended up putting too much blush on this cheek. So all I did was grab my powder brush that I was using earlier, and all I did was just kind of pat that on the apples of my cheeks. And it's all fixed. So now I'm going to grab my Milani setting spray again. As y'all can see, this is my best friend. I'm just going to spray that on. Now I'm going to be using the NYX On The Rise mascara. I like to put my mascara on after I use my setting spray. Anytime I do it before, because I don't have patience, I spray that setting spray on and it is mascara all down here. I don't have time for it. So I put mine on after the setting spray. This is the travel size version of this mascara, but the full product retails for $11. I got this as a free gift at Ulta, which y'all can probably tell is my favorite place to shop. I feel like when I put on mascara, it never really does too much for me because my lashes are bald head. So that's why I like wearing lashes so much. I feel like a look isn't complete without them. But shout out to all my girls who got bald head lashes like me. Hey y'all.
Hey. Hey. How y'all doing?
So, y'all know what's next. Lashes. This is the Eylure Vegas nail lashes. They're faux mink. These retail for $12. She has other different styles too. These are some of my favorite lashes to buy in store. I feel like a lot of people are really hooked on getting the Ardell lashes, but I feel like these are where it's at. So I'll be taking my Ardell Duo Lash Glue. This retails for $6.49. Like I told you guys before, I prefer the green one. I don't know, but I just only like the green one. It's the only one I'll use. So I'm just going to brush the lash glue onto my lash. I always put 2 coats on each lash, and I just like to let the glue dry up and get tacky. So I'm going to try to show y'all the easiest way to put on lashes. Like, I don't see how y'all just be in the mirror and doing this. Like, y'all not human. So I'm gonna show y'all an easy way. So you want to first make sure that you have a mirror. I'm going to be using my palette. I just turned my palette upside down, and you're going to place your mirror down here below. And so when you're looking down, you're going to see exactly where you're going to drop your lash at. So just have your mirror down here, look below, and I like to apply my lashes with tweezers. I find it easier for me to use, especially since I always have long nails. And you just want to hold that right in the center of the lash. But I'm looking down and I'm able to see exactly where I'm dropping it. So I've dropped it, and I'm just gonna pull it to the side, pull the front of it, and our lash is on. So I always like to go in with my tweezers after I put my lashes on and just kind of clamp them down on the side to make sure they're really on there. So now let's move on to lips. This is the Knit Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Downtown Beauty. I love brown lip liners. These are the only lip liners I will ever use. I feel like they just go with everything. And you always want to make sure that you have on a lip liner. When you put on lipstick, majority of the times without lip liners, your lipstick will bleed. So lip liners are so important. So today I'll be using my Milani Satin Matte Lipstick, and this is in the shade Lux. So this is my lip combination. The NYX lip liner retailed for $4 and the Milani Liquid Matte retailed for $9. Alright you guys, this is your complete look. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also be sure to hit that like button and don't forget to ring that bell so you can get notified every time I post. New videos dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Also be sure to connect with me, get to know me better. You can follow me on Instagram at Makeup by Cara May. If you want to get personal, in my personal life, you can follow me at Miss Cara May on Instagram. And also you can follow me on Snapchat at Miss Cara May. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.